I realized I moved this because I wanted to see you all. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season and getting to enjoy all the festivities that are going on around town. Anybody make it to the Tamale Festival? See that great Irish band that played? It was the accordion player, that's right. And I hope you're enjoying your own holiday traditions. Those are always near and dear and fun to us, aren't they? Well, here we are, a week before Christmas, and I hope you'll come to our Christmas Eve service. It's good to see you. Oh, Lisa sat on the front row. I had to. I know that's my board members in the back row there. No, no, I'm joking. No, it's good to see you, John, too. Anyway, our Christmas Eve service, it's a beautiful program, and it's an opportunity for us to celebrate the light together. I don't know if you noticed, but all month long we've been talking about the light. What a concept. Lorna Bright talking about the light. But the first Sunday of the month, my talk was entitled Awakening to the Light. And that was the Sunday before Bodhi Day. And Bodhi Day is a day when Buddhists around the world commemorate the time when Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha, the awakened one. He woke up. He awakened to the light. The light came on. Bing! Now I get it. And a little light bulb began to shine above his head. Not really. But he became the enlightened one, the awakened one. He attained enlightenment. Now, that word enlightenment might not be something that you use in everyday conversation. It might not roll easily off of your tongue. In fact, many of you might have filed that word away in some mind file that's reserved for other people, special people, magical people, or maybe even a different time, even an ancient time, or a different location like Tibet or Nepal or something. But enlightenment simply means getting it, seeing the big picture, understanding how everything fits together, how it's all connected. The pieces fall in place. It all begins to make sense. And I would venture to say this morning that at least part of the reason you're here is because you want to make sense of it all. You want to understand more about yourself and about life and the way it all fits together and about the connectiveness of things. Maybe you're like me and you want a faith, a belief system that is solidly grounded in the truth. Not something that's convoluted with a bunch of hoops that you have to jump through, and you go over to this verse and you do what it says, and then you go over to this verse and you do what it says, and then you find this little verse and you extract something out of that, and then this obscure passage and you do that, and then voila, you're a member of the group. I don't think so. The master teacher, Jesus, said to his followers, you, and you, and you, and you, all of us, can know the truth. And that truth will set you free. Free. And as soon as I said that word free, you could feel it in your heart, couldn't you? You could sense it in your mind. Free. It's as if you could feel it in your body. Free. Like taking a big breath for the first time, a big inhalation of life essence. And then an exhale, maybe for the first time all week, the first time all month, or the first time all year, just letting it all out, that limitation, that constriction and confinement, that burden, that heaviness of life, letting it all out. And you might not be able to articulate that freedom, but you sure can feel it in your heart, right? You can sense it in your mind. Feeling connected integrated from within, and a sense of oneness with that energy that pulsates through all of life. That's enlightenment. And that's what happened to the Buddha. Now you still might be thinking, but that's the Buddha. The Buddha. I'm not somebody that's going to shave my head and put on a orange robe and sit in lotus position under a Bodhi tree for 49 days. Me neither. In fact, I don't even know if I can get into lotus position. But when you dig deeper to the essence, when you go deeper into the Buddha's story, we find that there's something that we all can relate to. And that is that the Buddha had a question. There was a troublesome situation that he had become aware of. And he was determined to do whatever it took to find an answer. So he opened his heart to more light. He opened his mind to more light. He opened his life. He laid down his life. He put aside his life to find the answer to that situation. He wanted to know the root of all suffering and how to free oneself. There's that word free again. How to liberate oneself from that limitation. And he was determined to do whatever it took to find the answer. Maybe there's a question in your life this morning. Maybe there's a situation that's weighing heavily on your heart, a problem that's just keeping you awake at night, or something just a little off, amiss, that's tugging at your heart. So ask yourself this morning, am I willing to do what it takes to find the answer? Am I willing to do what it takes to remedy this situation, to reconcile this problem, to do whatever it takes? Interesting, the name Siddhartha means he who achieves his aim. He who achieves his aim. So what we learn from Siddhartha is that the one who achieved his aim is that an essential element of what we could call enlightened living is willingness. Being willing to open your heart and your mind, as the song says. Let that light shine in every area of your life, to live an examined life and to bring it into alignment with that truth that's resonating in your soul, that's written on your heart and your mind, that's encoded in your DNA. And when you come into alignment with that truth, it sets you free. And that's enlightenment. So the following Sunday, we talked about the Jewish Festival of Lights, Hanukkah, and a time in Jewish history when a miracle of light occurred. Now, you might be saying, I'm not Jewish. I don't know anything about the Jewish tradition, and I'm definitely not going to be like Jewish people and strictly adhere to, 613 Old Testament laws about not eating pork and shellfish. Got to have my pork chop. All you can eat crab legs. We can't do without that. But, the Jewish tradition, like many ancient religions, very steeped in ritual and sacred ceremony, has very deep roots. And we wouldn't want to give just a cursory reading to any of the world's religions and think we know all about it. We want to dig deeper into the essence, yes? And digging deeper, especially into the Hanukkah story, we find that there's something that we all can relate to. And that's trust, like Lucky said. Faith. They only had one container of sacred oil. Not enough, not enough, not enough. We've all been there. They didn't know how that menorah was going to stay lit for a full 8-day purification ritual. But they held to their vision, and they used what they had. And they did what they could do, and they trusted in the light. So maybe there's a situation in your life, maybe a relationship that you want to be more loving and harmonious. You just want everybody to get along. Hold to that vision. Use what you have. Do what you can do. And trust in that light, that one that is unconditional love. Or maybe it's a health concern. You want your body to be more vibrant and healthy and energetic and strong. Hold to that vision. Use what you have. Do what you can do. And trust in that life energy, that one that is all power surging through you. So what we can learn from this story, the Hanukkah story of the miracle of light, is faith. So now here we are, Christmas, coming up to Christmas, the day when we celebrate the birthday of Jesus who became the Christ. I know all these stories that I'm telling you are so old, ancient, in fact. They happened so many centuries ago. It's hard to relate to that, right? I mean, the Buddha was born in 567 BC. 567. That's how I remember that. I can't even relate to that, right? And the Hanukkah story, the miracle of lights, happened about 165 BC. Again, and nobody really knows when Jesus was born, but we know it was at least 2,000 years ago. So these things happened so long ago. Like I say in my book, sometimes we tend to romanticize certain periods of history, especially that time, but way, way back when, as if Moses really did look like Charlton Heston, that kind of thing. Or Cleopatra looked like Elizabeth Taylor. And Jesus looked like Willem Dafoe. That's a stretch. So then we kind of set apart people like Moses and Buddha and Jesus as if they were different or special or elite or magical beings. And then this whole idea of enlightenment, well, then we can set that aside too, because that's reserved for magical beings. But Jesus' entire message was that what he did, we can also do. The Unity Worldwide Ministries website states, "We believe that Jesus expressed his divine potential and sought to show humankind how to express ours as well. We see Jesus as a master teacher of universal truths and as our way shower. His mission was to help his followers and all of us to live more fully as spiritual beings having a physical experience. His entire mission was to help us to live more fully, more successfully, more abundantly, as he said, with one foot in the spiritual and one foot in the physical. He boldly proclaimed, "I am the light of the world." You've heard that before, huh? Have you heard the next verse that says, "Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life"? You notice he says follows. Jesus never said worship me. He said follow me. To follow someone is to imitate them, to do as they do and act as they act, and to say what they say, and to feel as they feel, and to believe as they believe. He boldly proclaimed, "I am the light of the world." Now, he wasn't being egotistical about it. It wasn't, "I am the light of the world." I, like a world wrestling champion. "I am the light of the world." No, he wasn't exalting himself above everyone else, because he's not the only light of the world, is he? Because he said, "You are the light of the world. Of course, when he said that, he was talking to a group of rich and successful business people. No. He was talking to a group of people that had an immense amount of talent and skills and abilities. Not at all. Oh, I know. He was talking to a bunch of highly educated people. They were all like PhDs. No. He was talking to his followers, those who have chosen to follow him, to imitate him, people just like you and me, people from all walks of life. You are the light of the world. You know, it's interesting in Christianity, the word enlightenment is rarely used. In fact, you won't find the word enlightenment in the Bible. But Jesus spoke profusely about the light, and that we're here to radiate that light out into our lives and out into the world. But what was that light? Well, first let me tell you what it wasn't. That light has nothing to do with personality or ego. Amen? That light has nothing to do with talent or ability. That light has nothing to do with appearance. It has nothing to do with the physical material realm. That light is intangible. It is inextinguishable. It is divine. He said, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." So he's using a metaphor to kind of explain what the light is. We know that metaphysically, the word city refers to consciousness. So a city set on a hill, high consciousness, a high degree of spiritual realization, mountaintop spiritual activity. Does that sound like enlightenment to you? A consciousness grounded in spiritual realization cannot be hidden. A consciousness that gets it cannot be hidden. A consciousness that's integrated within and has a sense of being one with God and one with the life energy that pulsates through all of life cannot be hidden. A consciousness that's illumined shines brightly through the life it lives. And those who have ears to hear and eyes to see then become aware of that intangible light that you shine. And they then exalt their light and begin to shine it through their lives and into the world. We really are here to light up the world and be the light of the world. So, as we celebrate this season of illumination, may you open your heart and mind to the divine light within. May you realize that you are fully human and fully divine. And may you from this day forward go forward embracing the light that you are, the light that you have, and the light that you give. May it be so. And so it is. We're going into a time of contemplation now, just for you to think about these things. Ancient truths. I'd just like to ask you to place your attention on your heart area. Allow yourself to breathe into that area. And feel the tension melting out of your head and out of your forehead and your temple. Relaxing your shoulders. And just allow that innate feeling to sense and to feel. To silence any thoughts. And to come forward as that still small voice speaks. Just ask yourself, am I willing to become more of who I truly am? Am I willing to release the ego and the personality, to let those defenses fall, and to let the light shine through my heart and through my mind, through every aspect of my life? Take a deep breath. Am I willing to offer everything that I have and to do everything I can to come into alignment with this truth within me? To really walk in the light? To really be the light? Breathe in power. Breathe in strength. Breathe in peace. And we allow this truth to come forward in our life. We imprint it on the working of the universe. We let it be so, and we speak our word and say, it is so. Amen. And when you're ready, you can come back to the room. Here come the lights.